Welcome into the episode 2 of Ozarks Gambling Gurus. I'm Scotty P. Scott Purrier, joined by Randy Murph, and Danny Handpay, Dan Evans, as we again come on here to talk a little gambling, casino gambling, sports betting, fantasy football. If you can bet it and lose on it, we're going to talk about it today. Speaking of, I think Murph went down I-44 and did some research today. And how'd that research excursion go, Randy?
The research plan backfired today.
That's
one of the few times I go down and lose, but today, instead of being the dog, I was the hydrant. So they got me today.
just slots. What do we play?
Poker, they have a little tournament at 1:00, so I played a little cash, lost a little, fired 3 bullets into the tournament to no avail, went out, got up on a slot, went back to play cash, couldn't get on a table, and went back to slots. And I should have listened to Dan's advice from our last show about when you get up a little, it's okay to cash out instead of trying to get that comma.
Well, then again, you were playing Dan's advice, the VGT game that
VGT, yeah,
that Dan earned the Danny Handpay nickname on.
I know.
I guess that's again why they have 2 towers there downstream, right? And
That is
you're
correct.
helping build a third.
This was at Indigo today, so I mean they're probably
Indigo.
ready.
Okay.
Yeah, they're ready for probably a 3rd tower or a new waterfall in their pool. So
yeah, they have two towers
yeah,
as well.
they do have.
Who's going to be the first to go 3 towers between the 2 of them?
Downstream needs to.
If you ranked those area casinos in who rakes in the most money on a weekend, is downstream head and shoulders number 1?
I would think so.
Yeah, around. I mean, Hard Rock, maybe Hard Rock's bigger than probably downstream, but downstream as far as
not counting the Tulsa ones, but I mean just the big 4 or 5 in our area, including Kansas Crossing and Riverbend. How would you rank those 5 in your minds in terms of income over a weekend?
For me, it'd be downstream, Indigo Sky, probably Buffalo Run, and then the other 2 would be a toss-up.
Downstream 2-1 over everybody else, I would say.
Really?
Yeah, I would think so.
And why is that, you think?
Just more foot traffic. They're the easiest to get to. Probably bigger gaming area than Indigo, bigger than the rest. So I would say.
Yeah, I think one thing that helps downstream is it's so visible. Anybody going down I-44 can see it. They get a lot of people from off the highway that come through there. And I think it's just easier. Like Randy said, it's easier to get to. It's about 15 to 20 minutes closer for me. It's hard to get off at exit 4 there. And by the time you get through the traffic, and it's just easier to get to.
Well, and of course, at your advanced age, though, driving around the roundabout like 6 times, trying to hit the right one to get off makes it a problem too, doesn't it?
Well, I usually ride the Oats bus, so I'd let them worry.
Do they still have bus trips? There wasn't a place in Branson that was doing like downstream bus trips.
Yeah, they used to. I mean, there used to be several people did.
Yeah.
I don't know if they still do.
Did COVID stop that? Seemed like they just because they used to be all the time.
Yeah, probably did.
Huh.
Well, we're going to talk several things today, as we did last week. We're going to talk some casino etiquette here in just a second. Also going to talk about the first weekend of college football. It's week 0. I think there's 5 games on the docket for Saturday. A couple of extreme interest locally. We'll talk about that. And then fantasy football. This is the biggest draft weekend of the year nationally. A lot of people want to get the draft in this weekend because Labor Day weekend, the following weekend, people on the lakes and traveling and everything else. So you'll see a lot of drafts in the next week and a half. And we put this out on our Facebook page. We would encourage everyone to follow that if you're not already, because we put some fun stuff up there throughout the week between podcasts. But we put out a call for the first Ozark Gambling Gurus Listeners League, Fantasy League. We're doing it on the Sleeper app, which has kind of become the go-to app for most fantasy players. And we filled it up, a 12-team league, the 3 of us, 9 other listeners, and we drew for our draft order a while ago. So we'll talk about that as well, too. And I've got some kind of news and notes and then some 10 league winners, guys that you need to target in your drafts that maybe are a little under the radar and could have a big season for you in trying to win that fantasy championship. But let's kind of dive into, first of all, Murph, you went today down to Indigo. Dan, any trips for you in the last week to do some research?
I went I went Friday and Saturday. They had two big drawings at Downstream. I batted 0 in those. But all the casinos have a lot of stuff coming up. A week from this Saturday night at Downstream, giving away a 2025 Jeep Wrangler. You can earn just by swiping your card. You can earn daily entries, and you get an entry for every point you have. I think in Indigo Sky, maybe September 6th, they're giving away a Jeep Wrangler down there. So there's a lot of stuff going on. Outposts have some hot seat drawings for $100-$200. So anytime, make sure to swipe your card. I had a cool thing happen to me in February. My wife wanted to go down to a concert. I hadn't been to Downstream for about 6, 7, 8 weeks. Swiped my card. I had one entry and ended up getting called for the grand prize. I won a 2024 Jeep Bronco and took the cash instead. But
Is that a hybrid between a Jeep and a Bronco, or
what now?
Is that a hybrid between a Jeep and a Bronco, or
Ford Bronco?
Ford Bronco.
Sorry about that. Sorry about that.
That sounds made up. That story, if you can't, a 24 Jeep Bronco, I want to see it.
Sorry, one drawing. That's all you had is one.
I had one drawing. The lady next to me had 15,000. I mean, they had all kinds. That happens more often than you think down there. So always swipe your card and activate your entries because you never know.
All right, now, did you have to be present to win?
Yes.
Okay. And you told the story last week of a friend of yours that had left and then won.
About 4 weeks after that, they gave away 25,000, and they drew his name for the grand prize. And unfortunately, he was about at the Mount Vernon exit when they called his name, and you had 3 minutes to get up to the front, and he couldn't quite make it.
So when you win a vehicle like that, what is the red tape afterward? Do they just hand you keys and you drive it off the floor, or what do they do?
I actually took the cash, so that they'll give you the option on any of those grand prize drawings. They'll give you the option of a cash amount or the vehicle. I didn't really want that kind of vehicle, so you would. I think it probably takes a couple days maybe to actually take possession of it, but you have to pay your sales tax on it. And then you would still have to claim it as income at the end of the year on your taxes.
How different is the cash amount versus the value of the vehicle?
It's approximately the wholesale value of what the car would be. Probably about what they, would have to pay for it if they gave it away.
Wow. So he instead of calling you Danny Handpay, we ought to call you Danny Papa Giorgio. From the Vegas.
Felt that night. That was. Probably of all the fun stuff that's happened to me at casinos, that was probably the best.
I got pictures from you from every step of the way that night. Jackpots, Jeeps, or Broncos.
And after I won the grand prize, over the next maybe hour and a half, I hit 3 nice jackpots on the same machine. It was a fun night. Unfortunately, those don't happen very often. But they happen
Friday, Saturday. Any hand pays this last trip or not?
I had one.
How much?
It was small. It was like 1,800.
Okay.
Isn't that the one you told me? You told them just to keep it because it was so small.
Too small. I didn't want to mess with it. Just joking.
Wow. I know Murph probably bases it on whatever tournament or event they're having in the poker rooms. But how do you decide which place you want to go on a weekend?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I use, like I said, I've been going to Downstream pretty much all the time just because I've been on a pretty good hot streak there and it's easy to get to. I will get back to going to Indigo some. I like Indigo a lot. And probably for me over the years, that's kind of the way it's been. I'll get on a pretty good streak at one place or the other. And that's where I'll go for several weeks or maybe 2, 3, 4 months, and then end up switching back a little bit because trust me, everything runs in cycles. I've had a fun summer at Downstream, but that's not going to last.
So I'll be in Kansas City next month for an event, staying at a casino up there. Is it worth it for me to get a card, or do I just go in and play for one night since I won't be back anyway?
Oh, I mean, if they give you $5 or $10 free play, you might as well get a card.
And is there any difference that you guys have found in Kansas City and St. Louis casinos versus what we have in our area?
Well, as I've said before, for me, now Randy will answer this different because of cards. If I went to a Kansas City casino, I would play craps. But I don't like the Kansas City slot machines.
Right.
Why?
Yeah, they don't turn red.
They don't turn red. It goes back to the VP deal.
I haven't
How
been to
long
a
have
Missouri.
those been in existence? The red flat bonus ones.
Oh gosh, at least 15 years, I think. But
Yeah.
they once they kind of took off, they've greatly expanded the kind of machines, and they're making some newer, fancier, more glamorous models, I guess, that draw people's attention more. But yeah, at least 15 years.
How do the bingo patterns work, Dan? Do you watch those?
I do. I didn't used to, but over the last several years, I do. So all those casinos, they operate off of bingo patterns, and the bingo pattern is shown on every slot machine screen. And as you play them enough, like if the first pattern comes up and it's eyes, EYES, I pretty well know 9 times out of 10 that's going to spin 2 or 3 times and it's going to be done. If you look up there and you get a Christmas tree or a double cross or an X pattern, hopscotch, all of those things are usually end up being pretty good payday for you.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, let's dive into your etiquette story. Tell us kind of what's the origin and nature. Murph was guessing as to why this is coming up. Did we have anything happen that caused you to think etiquette or not?
Well, I've always been a pretty big etiquette guy, So all these things have happened to me at primarily not as much at Downstream, but several times at Indigo Sky, and it's happened to me at Hard Rock and River Spirit in Tulsa. So, and some of these probably just pet peeves of mine. Don't. And if I know you, if you're a friend of mine and you come up and stand behind me, that's totally fine. That doesn't bother me. But for me to be playing and all of a sudden I get the feeling somebody's behind me and somebody's just standing over my shoulder watching me play, I don't like that. It's and I have told, and I try to just give them a couple of glances. Usually they walk away. It's not a spectator sport. There are lots of machines, and if you want to learn how they work, sit down and play one. But it's not. If you want to go to a spectator sport, go find a softball game somewhere down around Joplin to go to. So that's one of my big pet peeves. Another one. This is a big one, I think, for me. Don't go up and ask anybody this question. So how much are you betting on that? Okay, that I don't like that. That's a big pet peeve. And all of these things for me, I'm pretty superstitious probably when it comes to playing a slot machine. When any of these things happen, I feel like my luck totally goes south. Okay, for one thing, every machine's got a denomination on it. Penny, nickel, dime, quarter, 50 cent, dollar, $5, whatever it might be. So if you're going to play, you should be able to look at that machine, see what denomination it is, and know what the person is playing per bet. Now, it doesn't matter to me if you play 1 penny a spin or if you play $100 a spin. That's everybody's personal preference, but I'm not going to worry about what you're playing, and I don't want you worrying about what I'm playing.
How
You
about
seem
if
like
you're
just a joy to sit next to at a slot machine.
an
No,
old crotchety old man?
God, it's
I'm
Clint
great.
Eastwood in what was the movie? Get Off My Lawn.
Yeah.
Get off my
What's that?
machine.
I'm great to sit by. Okay, here's another one. I don't like this. If you lose, and I've said this many times, the odds are when you sit down, you're going to lose. Don't get mad and start beating on the machine. Okay, I don't like people beating on the machines next to me. And if you're sitting across from me, so our machines are back to back, when you start beating on your machine, it starts rattling my machine around. Okay, those are approximately $15,000 to $30,000 a piece, and they don't need to be beat on. It's not the machine's fault you lost. Okay,
You need to talk to your host and just start having little sections roped off that you can get in and play.
I'm not quite that important.
No, I understand that. The stalkers that just sit there, you turn red and they come up and hit your arm. Oh, stay red. And then it
Oh,
automatically
say,
quits.
like it spins red 4 or 5 times. If somebody next to me or somebody behind me says, "Oh, you're going to jackpot," it immediately stops turning red every single time.
Just cash out and leave.
Are these mostly men or women that do this?
Combination.
Yeah.
Yeah, combination.
Okay.
I will tell you a quick funny story here in a minute. Here's my fourth one. This is I want to be nice to the workers there at whatever casino you're at.
Yeah.
If you hit something good and they come and give you a hand pay, tip them. Okay.
Mhm.
Some places on what I'm going to say next are different from place to place. Because I stay on the same machine so long, occasionally I'll have to go to the bathroom and I'll ask one of the workers, "Hey, can you watch my machine for a minute?" And they usually always will. And if they're allowed to accept tips when I get back, I give them a tip because I appreciate them doing that.
What's the proper amount?
Oh, I mean, it depends. I mean, if I'm gone, just run to the restroom and come back and I'm having a decent night, I'll give them $5-10.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know?
Red chip, usually a red chip.
Yeah. If like when I hit a jackpot, even if it's like a $1,200 jackpot, I always give them $100 tip. And
Nice.
because I am a little superstitious, I feel like the nicer I am to them, maybe I get a little more luck down the road.
So that brings up a question. The hand pay people at the casinos, they can make pretty good money then in a night. Because how many hand pays you think there are in a night? How many of them are out there going out and taking care of that?
Oh, I think on a shift at downstream, I mean, there's probably what, Randy, 7 or 8 work.
Yeah, 5 to 10 red shirts running around probably.
Yeah. Now, and I don't think, and I mean, this is what they've kind of told me. I don't think they make much per hour. I think a lot of I mean, it's
Tip based.
based on tips.
Wow.
Ooh, do they get taxed on that now? Didn't Trump?
That may change a little bit for them. I'm not
Wow.
sure how that's going to work.
I'm gonna go try to get a job down there.
So in the hierarchy of whales, is that still a name? But do they call people whales when you got like it?
Not here.
Not
No.
here.
Not here.
Where
Vegas.
are you, Dan, in the downstream Indigo Sky hierarchy? Are you mid-level because of all these hand pays? Are you somebody that they say Dan's coming this weekend?
I'm at the top group at Indigo, but it's easier to get to the top group at Indigo by far than it is downstream. Downstream, you have, I don't know, what, 5 levels, Randy? Something like that?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. I'm on the 4th level. So there's still one.
You're one below the top?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Platinum's still the biggest, or did they change their
It's Diamond Elite.
Diamond Elite? That's right.
Yeah.
And is that based on money you've spent in their machines or money you've won?
On the number of points you've earned.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The more you play, the more points you get.
Points you earn. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So it sounds like basically you would like for them to wheel you in like Hannibal Lecter and set you up at a slot machine
No, I mean,
and make people stay like 50 feet away on all sides.
And Randy, I mean, I like sitting next to people. And I mean, I'm super nice to people. And if they ask, "Hey, what button do I push?" I'm always willing to help. But I think Randy there's probably things he likes and doesn't like in a card room for people.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Randy, what are some of those?
Oh, poker etiquette.
Yeah.
The biggest one's probably a slow roll, meaning when the cards are all dealt and the money's in, if you've got the best possible hand, don't wait and let people show their cards. Like in the westerns, they'll turn over four of a kind, and then this guy's like, "Well, I got the straight flush." It just doesn't work that way. So that's one of them. Berating players, because poker players, I mean, losing money, people get their ass chapped a little pretty easy, and so when they start losing, it's the dealer's fault, or they'll get mad at another player and take it out on them. So it's just, common sense basically, but there's not a lot of that anymore. So,
Have you seen a fight in there at all?
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. There's
How,
been
how
blood
quick do
spilled in the
those get
poker room.
broken up?
Huh?
How quick do those get broken up?
Pretty quick. Yeah. They frown upon that.
Yeah.
The marshals will come in if there's a fight. So
Wow. And big event coming up this weekend in Tulsa, is that right?
the Oklahoma State Poker Championship starts tomorrow, runs, I believe, 10 days, and just they have all different events between mostly no limit hold'em, different buy-ins, or 200 on the nightlies. The main event, I think, is an $800 buy-in, so lots of chances to win one of those. I'm going to go down Sunday and play the seniors, I believe. And then on Monday is the tag team event. So I'm going to hit those two this weekend. Hopefully do better than I did today.
Well, and we mentioned from a sports betting standpoint, this is week 0 of college football. That basically means it's the week before the actual first big week. I know Labor Day weekend, there you've got Texas at Ohio State, which is kind of the marquee game, and Ohio State's a 2.5-point favorite in that. It'd be hard to bet against the Buckeyes at home in the opener, although new quarterback, you got Arch Manning starting for Texas there. We'll talk more about it. I think we may try to bring Phil on next week and talk a little college football going into the since he ditched just on the fantasy league. We'll at least get him on to talk college sports. But
He's just scared to play fantasy.
is he? Yeah. Well, and so 5 games. The one, probably the two of most interest locally, you've got Iowa State versus K-State in Ireland. That's an 11 a.m. kickoff on Saturday. K-State is a 3-point favorite in that. And I took a peek at the Big 12 preseason polls. Most of them have K-State or Arizona State as the favorite to win the league this year. Iowa State's in that 3, 4, 5 range. So it should be a pretty good game. College football now with the portal, the comings and goings of players, I don't know how early in the year you can possibly bet on anything with any confidence. You just don't know what the teams are.
Flip a coin.
Yeah.
That's
look at
do.
OU. My Sooners, who've had some hard times with Brent Venables 2 out of the 3 years, they get the quarterback from Washington State, his offensive coordinator, and the running back from Cal. And both the quarterback and running back were considered the top players at their position in the portal. So, but you don't know how they're going to do, coming to a different conference, the SEC, how they're going to do, in a different system. It just, I would think that the Vegas guys right now, this is probably the most challenging time they've had in decades of trying to pick games, set lines.
Is that why Jimmy Vaccaro, didn't he just retire?
Did he get out?
That? Yeah, I think he just retired this year. Of course, he is pretty old, but maybe that's why he did. It's too hard.
Yeah.
So K-State's a 3-point favorite against Iowa State. Again, that's in Ireland. Be a lot of drum fans at that one, I would guess.
That work. Did both teams make money off of that?
I would think at least their expenses are paid by the network, maybe having them over. Surely they wouldn't have to pay to go do that, I wouldn't think.
Yeah.
KU is also playing. They've got Fresno State coming in. The Jayhawks are a 12.5-point favorite in that one. Did you see, we talked last week, I think, about the $300 million donation to KU Athletics, the largest in their history of the school for athletics. Did we mention that or not?
I don't know if we did.
Yeah.
Is that why they redo their stadium, their football stadium?
They're in the process. I guess at least 25% of it's going toward that. But, we're in an age now where Texas Tech has got 2 rich, I think they're oil guys that are basically pouring millions upon millions into Texas Tech athletics. And, you saw them buy the pitcher from Stanford in softball last year that got them all the way to the national championship game.
Oh yeah.
They've done it with football now too. And I don't know how much college football you guys follow now, but it's really kind of soured me on the whole game because it's not college football anymore to me.
It's all-star teams. Who can buy the best team? I mean,
Yeah,
March Madness will never be the same, I don't think.
I did my my podcast, taped it today for Around the Ozarks, and had Evangel coach Chuck Hepola on, who's now their AD this year. And it was kind of refreshing to talk to a guy that we're not talking about what we had to offer that to get him and things like that. They just go play football, and that feels like college football.
Yeah.
Look at the other games, a couple of them that just, probably not worth mentioning, but then you got a good one out late night Saturday, Hawaii and Stanford. And Hawaii is a 2.5-point favorite over Stanford. And I don't know if that means Hawaii is on the rise or Stanford has fallen that bad, because I just can't imagine Stanford being an underdog to a team like Hawaii.
Hey,
Are they
Randy,
playing? Yeah, I know what you're going to say, Dan.
you can't talk about this, but Randy and I have had experience betting on Hawaii football games along with Phil Montgomery.
Really?
Exactly.
It's we don't have time for the story.
And
Trust
was Pat with us?
me. He could have been.
So is that a story for another time or a story for never
I
time?
mean, as the show gets going, we may tell some better stories, but yeah, that was a good one.
Well, we'll have a set of games next week, and we'll see if Phil can jump on with us. 9:00 maybe past his bedtime, so we'll see. But
Hey, I give Phil a hard time, but Phil does know his football. I'm looking.
He knows his college football. I mean, he knows football, but college football, he's a big old Bama fan. So we'll see what he has to say.
Well, and don't tell him this, but I enjoy his posts on. He's pretty regular on Facebook with his thoughts on the SEC after the first week and things like that. So, Murph, I think you posted on our Facebook page the gambling licenses, the individual license have gone out to DraftKings and Circa.
Yeah.
And now my understanding is others can join and have their products eligible in the state of Missouri when that starts by December 1, but they have to be tethered to a professional sports team, right?
And FanDuel did. They tethered with. I thought it would be the Royals or Cardinals, but they tethered with St. Louis City. Is that is there a soccer team?
Yeah.
They're tethered with them. So
what does that mean when they're tethered?
I have no idea. I don't know if it's just advertisement. I mean, that you can still get on there and wager, I would say, but they're tied to that team. I don't know. I really don't know. I need to read up on that and see what it means. But
yeah,
I would assume you're good to go.
Well, and we've talked about it, but DraftKings is my favorite because you can use the same balance in your account for both the DraftKings DFS, Daily Fantasy, and their sports book. It's two separate apps, but whatever balance you have in your account can be drawn from for either side. So that's kind of cool when the betting app is up and live in Missouri, and we don't have to go to the strip club parking lot in Kansas down by downstream anymore to make our bets. It'll be awfully nice.
You can still go there, but
yeah. And there's probably great steak there, right? Best steak in Kansas. So, but that's going to open up a whole new world. And again, it's very sad that we have to wait till December 1st instead of like right off the bat here next weekend being able to do those kind of bets.
It makes 0 sense, but why would it?
So, what are the chances between 1 and 100 that something will pop up legally, some motion will be filed that December 1st will get pushed back? I mean,
I don't think so.
I don't think can they do that?
I don't think
voted in.
Yeah, it was voted in. They pushed it back and set a hard date. So I don't know what would have to transpire to move it, but I don't think it can. But I mean, anything's possible, but I would say very slim chance.
So we mentioned the Ozark Gambling Gurus Listener League, Fantasy League on the Sleeper app. It's a 12-team league, full point PPR scoring. We set it up with a couple things that are unique. A third round reversal, which means we'll go picks 1 through 12, 12 through 1 for rounds 1 through 2, or 1 and 2 for the draft order. And then the third round will start with pick 12 and come back down. And that's the way it'll go the rest of the draft. The other thing that I like Sleeper does, and we've done this in a couple other leagues I'm in, is you'll have 2 games a week. You'll play an opponent in the schedule, but you'll also play the rest of the league and the league's median score. And that's a lot of fun on like Monday Night Football when you're watching that number go up. I mean, it may be here and you're thinking, oh, whew, I'm going to go 1-1 this week. And all of a sudden, some guy breaks a 70-yard touchdown and now the median's gone up and you're below it,
Right.
So, but it keeps teams from, let's say you lose 170 to 166. Instead of being 0-1, you're probably going to be 1-1 for the week because you beat the median. And it also keeps the team that wins 99 to 98, from being undefeated. They're probably going to go 1-1 too. So
Yeah, I like that. I haven't played in one like that, but I do like
it's
that.
a lot of fun. And the draft order, Scott Schatz in the 1 hole, your daughter Madden in the 2, our one female competitor, and be nice, gentlemen, right? It's somebody's daughter.
She's tough. She can hand it back to you.
Danny Handpay in the 3 slot, Herbie in the 4, Sumatra in the 5, Magic 6, Cadillac Magic. That's Miles Thompson in the 6 hole, Kyle Kimberling in the 7, Murph in the 8. The Green Dildo Club team name.
Jordan Doogie, my man.
Yeah,
Jordan Doogie. Yeah.
Probably the most interesting name so far in the league. Team Marty Moose, that's got to be Marty Hanks in the 10 hole.
Yep.
I'm in the 11, and then Evan Jones, Edge is picking in the 12. So
Okay,
that's the draft order. It's in the
order
What's that?
This draft order makes me immediately think this third round reversal must be advantageous to the bottom drafters because Courier automatically somehow magically down in the 11.
Well, I actually did show Randy the app.
He did show me.
Yeah. Now I will tell you. So I'm in another league that I run. A bunch of my neighbor guys, and we determined the draft order on Sleeper by picking 10 games between now and our draft. And it's 9 college games, all by the spread. And then we made the Knicks Republic game the 10th game.
That'd be fun.
And
it is nice.
I set the spread at 28.5. Nixa giving that. So it'll be interesting to see. This Nixa team is going to be unreal offensively. So I don't know anybody's going to hold them below 50, but their defense is unproven. So I fully expect Republic to do what Republic does. And it's in their best interest to keep that thing at their pace. Yeah. And literally try to get 3 and 4 yards of carry and just shorten the game. So
yeah, pound the ball. My daughter Madden, who's in this league, in her league, are you guys familiar with Cameo? How you can pay movie stars, athletes? So she had John Gruden read off their draft order. So he randomized it and read it off. I have a video. I'll send it to you guys.
That is pretty cool. Good. Yeah, that is neat. Yeah, so we do ours. The best record of those 10 games gets to pick his draft slot. And Dan, to follow up on your comment, with their third round reversal, a lot of guys are picking 10, 11, 12 because, in this year's fantasy world, there's about 6 givens at the start of the draft. And then after that, it seems like it's all over the board, 7 through 12. So if you got one of the first 6, you're going to get one of those guys, 3 running backs and 3 receivers that are out, kind of head and shoulders above the rest. And then you kind of get into the Christian McCaffreys and the Devin Achans and guys like that hurt, perennially hurt. You're taking a risk. So
I do have to say something, Scott. Your ex-partner Ned Reynolds in our Sherm Lawler fantasy league way back when, his first round pick was Tamarick Vanover. So to give him
I was in one where he picked Phillip Rivers in the first round. So fantasy was not Ned's thing.
The guy knows everything about sports, but he was horrible at fantasy.
Yes, and he still is. Yeah, I don't know if he's still playing or not. So some other notes, NFL notes for those preparing for their drafts. The Indianapolis Colts have named Daniel Jones their starting quarterback. Richardson, the guy they've tried, is just an awful passer. They've got a lot of talent out there on the field, and it's a team that probably is going to be a lot better with Danny Jones at the quarterback. He's a game manager, and that's probably what they need. Had a scary injury over the weekend. Jalen McMillan, the second-year receiver for the Tampa Bay Bucks, went up. I think it was Teddy Bridgewater was playing quarterback at the time and kind of hung him out to dry with a high pass, and he came backwards and landed on his neck, and it's a severe strain, which is lucky because it looked like he could have broken it. But he's going to be out, it sounds like, the first at least 9 weeks through their bye and maybe back in week 10. So he'll go on the IR list. What that does for Tampa, because Chris Godwin's still not ready to play, Emeka Egbuka, the rookie receiver from Ohio State, is shooting up the draft charts right now because he's going to be the number 2. He and Mike Evans will handle the load for Baker Mayfield's passing offense there in Tampa. Terry McLaurin still with no contract, the Commanders' number 1 receiver, a guy that's pivotal to Jaden Daniels and what he does, that the Commanders need to poop or get off the pot here and get him signed because that's going to put them in a hole. James Cook, we mentioned this last week. He did get his contract and he's good to go, so no worries there. The interesting story with the Commanders, they're basically chasing off Brian Robinson Jr., who's been their workhorse back, if you will, the last couple of years, the Alabama product, because they've had a revelation in this guy that his name is Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt.
Yeah.
If you watched Monday night, he looks good. He was
good.
He was at Arizona. He played 1 game and then got suspended the rest of the year by the NCAA. And I'm not sure what the details are on that. I need to dive in a little bit more, but he's kind of supplanted Brian Robinson Jr. And so they've made him available by trade. So, and that Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt wants to be known as Bill. Okay, it's a lot easier to say. We'll go Bill. But
what's up, Bill?
The guy that got suspended got caught. He went and scouted somebody in person.
Here we go. We will turn this into another 50-minute podcast if we go down that path.
Hey, I do have a legitimate question. Scott, How much money would it take for you to run a pass route over the middle against an NFL defense, catch the ball, and take a hit?
I don't think there's enough money in the world. Yeah, and that's why. I mean, why are you even running that route in a preseason game?
Yeah,
Watching the Bengals and Commanders Monday night. If you're in a dynasty league and you have Joe Burrow, you were just sitting there like this, watching him in there in a game that means nothing.
Crazy.
All because they've started slow the last couple of years, and Joe Burrow thinks it's because he hasn't played enough in the preseason. Well, he damn near got killed the other night a couple of times. Get him off the field, especially if you've got Jamar Chase or T. Higgins. You're also going, get him out of there now. But and one other note, Cam Scatabo. I'm not sure, the Arizona State kid that the Giants took in the draft. He's back at practice. He's a guy that a lot of people are watching for their rookie drafts to see if he takes the number 1 job there. 5 situations to avoid. Won't go into huge detail here as you go into your draft. Number 1, the Dallas Cowboys backfield. It's a mess of guys that Javonte Williams and Miles Sanders and the rookie Blue from Texas. No idea who's going to come out of that. Blue's the one dart throw if you want to try somebody in that. The Jacksonville backfield, kind of the same thing. New head coach, Tank Bigsby and ETN, were kind of splitting it last year. Now they've drafted the rookie Botson. I can't pronounce his name, but a little short, quick guy. So another one's going to be kind of convoluted. Any Saints players not named Alvin Kamara or Chris Olave, don't draft them. Saints are going to be the worst team in the NFL. Rashee Rice, I don't know if you want to take that chance or not. Murph, I know you wouldn't, but he could miss 6 games. He could miss 10 games.
Why don't he try to serve it now? I mean, I think it's going to hit playoff time, right? Wouldn't you want to get it out of the way?
I don't think anybody knows any idea what's going to happen with this, but I do know this, that if there's a guy in that draft area where Rice is that's not suspended 6 or 10 games, I would probably take him over Rashee Rice, especially in a redraft league.
Right.
And then last on the 5 situations to avoid, the Green Bay Packers wide receivers. I mean, some of them are hurt. You never can tell who's going to be the favorite target for Jordan Love. It may be Tucker Kraft, the tight end, for all we know. The only one that I might take a dart throw there is Matthew Golden, the rookie from Texas. They ran he ran like a 4.2 or something crazy at the combine, but he may end up being their best target there. So that's some of the fantasy stuff. Lastly, 10 league winners. These are guys to mark down that you can get later in your draft and may just win you a title. I've got Isaiah Pacheco with the Chiefs, the running back. A lot of people have basically tossed him aside, forgetting that it was kind of a miracle he came back at all last year. It was a broken ankle or a broken bone in his leg. He just wasn't healed. I think he'll be back. Tyler Warren, the tight end of the Colts, the rookie from Penn State, he is a stud.
Yeah, he is a stud.
He's a guy that you can get later after all the top 3 are gone that's going to be just as good, and he's going to be targeted heavily. He's also a guy they'll hand the ball off to in the backfield occasionally as well. So, Ted McMillan, the rookie receiver for the Panthers, top 10 pick there in the draft, 6'4", can go up and get it, big, strong receiver. He'll be their number 1, so he's a guy that can be in that 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th round. George Pickens, the Cowboys picked him up from the Steelers.
Oh, yeah.
Pickens has been a headache for whoever he's played for. The Steelers, one of those guys that there's a little bit of attitude problem there. Cowboys are going to have to throw with a horrible defense and no running game. So they can't throw every pass to CD Lamb. So I think Pickens will have a big year. I don't know how to pronounce his name because I've seen it 15 different ways, but the rookie wide receiver for the Titans, Elik Ayamanor, he's from Stanford, 6'3" kid, can go up and get it. They have nobody besides one of the other guys on this list, Calvin Ridley. Ridley's been around a while. He would be a fan of our podcast with his gambling, I guess, affliction.
Prowess.
Yeah, but, Cam Ward's going there. He's a guy that likes to throw it deep. Calvin Ridley's going to have a big year as his main and probably only target. But Ayamanor will be the number 2 before it's all said and done, and as a rookie and getting a lot of looks there. Finishing this out, Omarion Hampton, the rookie running back for the Chargers, with Najee Harris trying to take his own eye out with a bottle rocket or fireworks. Hampton's going to be the number 1 starting the year. Ricky Pearsall for the Niners, second-year receiver. Wasn't he the guy that got shot last year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They played the Raiders. I kept my eye on him. He looked pretty good in the preseason game. Had a few catches.
He's kind of that Julian Edelman, Ladd McConkey kind of, white guy that gets open role basically. Drake May, the quarterback for the Patriots, I think he's going to have a great second year. They've got a head coach now in Mike Vrabel who's no nonsense and knows how to win. They got him some weapons too with Henderson, the running back, the rookie from Ohio State, and some receivers. And then lastly, I felt so bad for the guy, but Michael Penix Jr., the Atlanta second-year quarterback. Did you see the video the
Michael Penis?
Yeah. We had a little one letter wrong in his name there on the graphic, and that
Hey, spelling's hard.
Yeah, I'm sure that's not the first time he's seen that. Probably all through high school. I can imagine what his nickname was. So, all right. Well, that's the fantasy. Good luck to everybody in their drafts. Our draft's tomorrow night at 9 in the Listener League. You guys headed down I-44 this weekend at all?
I probably will not this week. This is kind of a busy time of the year for me. I'll probably wait and go down the following Saturday and try to drive home that new Jeep.
There you go.
The Jeep Bronco.
The new Jeep Bronco that's coming out. I'm gonna head down Sunday morning for a couple days in Tulsa and try to.
Murph, are you on any do not allow entrance lists anymore? Or are you?
No, I'm free and clear.
Just once this year, we need you probably to get tossed from one of those, so we have a good story to tell.
Okay, I'll try to video it.
Okay. Well, that's going to do it for this week's edition of the Ozarks Gambling Gurus. Again, follow us on Facebook. We put some fun stuff up there. Good luck to all the fantasy drafters. Good luck to all the casino players. We'll see you next week. Thanks for tuning in.
See you, everybody.
See ya.